Hi, here we are in beautiful Laguna Niguel, and I just know if it's really, 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 really cold where you are, check this out. What's the temperature here today, Peter?
Right now,
What is it? 60?
58.
58. It's
Above zero.
above zero. So this is a regular group of guys that hangs out at Pete's. Take a look at all of them, and they all have really crazy stories. But today, we're going to focus on Peter Poulas. Now, you know what Peter is? Peter is, I'm going to get close to you. Is that okay? You don't like it when girls get close
I love
to
it.
you?
I love it.
Okay, so Peter is the Papaya King of New York City. Now, I remember going to the one at 86th and 3rd, and well, your dad started that, right?
Right, correct.
Your dad, Gus, back in the 30s?
Early 30s.
Okay, but it was called something else then.
Hawaiian tropical drinks.
Hawaiian tropical drinks. I think I need to get closer to you so we can really be seen. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, so it's called Hawaiian tropical drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you changed it. Why?
Had nothing to do that day.
But you know, people grew up. They'd go to 86th and 3rd. I'd see long lines hanging
Oh,
there.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
because what was the attraction? Why do you think people liked it so much?
I think, number one, the stores were all very tropical looking. They had different decor, and the product was good.
But so first you started with drinks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was in the drinks that made them so good?
They were all natural.
All
They were
natural.
pure.
So like you started the organic movement
Well,
like
we
65 or 70 years ago, right?
never pushed it as that. We wanted to be natural.
Natural. Well, what would people have said if you said, I'm doing organic juices back in
Who
1962?
would have been arrested.
So, anyways, but what was the trick? I know there was a formula, and when you sold it, it was all formulated.
It was a formula that only a few people knew how to make the drinks to our formula.
Uh-huh.
We made them fresh every day.
Yeah.
There was no middleman.
No
And,
middleman. Like,
no, we made it.
but okay.
So nobody made it, then delivered it to us, and we sold it. That's how I was able to keep the prices down and the volume up.
Right. So, look, there's people talking to us. See, all kinds of people are joining to talk to us. They're waving at us. See that?
Sure.
And they should be asking you some questions because everybody knows Papaya King. Now, the formulas, can you tell me what exactly they were? Is it like
No.
Coca-Cola?
Well,
Huh?
they were all natural. Let's say, for example, papaya was our biggest seller.
Yeah.
We start out with pure papaya puree.
Where'd you get it? Because can't find papaya easily
Well,
in
we
New
got
York.
it from South America, from Puerto Rico, from Hawaii.
Was it legal?
Of course it was legal. And when we got desperate, we had to go to India
What?
to get it.
You had to go to India to get papayas?
Yeah, and that was a problem because the transportation was so expensive.
The papayas were rotten by the time
Well,
they arrived, right?
We had that problem once. We got a batch from, I believe it was Puerto Rico,
Yep.
or maybe the South America. And when the ship landed in Miami, they're supposed to put it on the docks.
Yep.
We had to wait for customs to okay it,
Yep.
and then go on a refrigerated truck up to our places in New York. But what happened, it was a hot day in Florida, and for whatever reason, the inspectors weren't moving too swift. By the time they got to the papaya, it was all bad.
Oh, that must
They
have been
didn't give a damn.
expensive.
Well, yeah, and we had to...
Hadn't you heard of bribes by then?
I should have had you then. No, and when we got the shipment, it was all sour and bad.
Oh.
So, I mean, these are part of business.
Yeah.
You anticipate them.
Yep.
But everything was always fresh. The only thing is that when papaya came from different parts of the world, it had a different flavor and a different color.
Really?
Slightly. And
Yeah.
our customers were steady. And the moment they notice something different, they let you know it.
Really? They were tough.
And they make a
But
comment.
people in New York are never tough.
Oh, they can be SOBs. Well, like, for example, we used to have the seed of the papaya in the drink.
Yeah.
The seed looked like a little hairy bug. And it was very good. It was the pepsin seed that you had to chew thoroughly. if you had an upset stomach. But we had it in a drink because it came in a drink. I would get many customers that would call me over. They said, you got a bug in your drink. But you try to tell them it's not a bug.
It's a seed.
Once somebody made up their mind,
I know.
you're not going to change it. So we had to take out the seeds. I wasn't going to go through this every day. But outside of that, the biggest, I said, the problem was wherever it came from. Then people would say, oh, the drink is no good today, or it tastes different. And mind over matter, if one person heard that in the store, and there's another customer having the same drink, that drink is not so good. And it was a chain reaction.
It sounds almost like you became a shrink in at that point, because you had to try to figure out how to deal with people, right?
You know what I found out in retail business, where they say the customer's always right, the customer's always usually wrong, but you don't debate them.
No, you have to
go along with
it. I know.
You play with the role. Otherwise, you're not going to win anyway.
Okay, so Papaya King still exists, but it's not yours anymore. You sold it.
I sold it about 15 years ago.
Did you sell it with the magic formula intact?
Well, everything.
Everything?
Everything.
I'm trying to get this angle quite right. I think I'm going to walk around behind you, because that way, if I come over here, I think you're going to look even handsomer. Like that. See? Is that better?
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking. Let's see. Look at all these people that are looking at us. We've got, see, they've got all their names there, and they're waving at us. So give them a wave. Papaya King, wave.
Look at it.
Wave, everybody, wave.
Hi, Susie. Hi, Deborah.
So you got the mangoes part straightened out, right? Okay, then what happened with the hot dogs? Can I call them hot dogs?
No, Frankfurters.
Frankfurters?
Yeah, hot dog is one on a push cart.
Yeah.
Frankfurter is the
you're getting
elite.
What did you tell him?
It's a special combination of the meat that goes into the Frankfurter.
Mammoth meats. He had a special.
Okay, the meat was, one of our slogans was, Papaya King Frankfurters are tastier than filet mignon. Okay, now.
What?
Filet mignon is tasteless, right? It needs seasoning.
Something in it. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we use the hind quarter of the bull, which is the filet mignon of the meat, to make Frankfurters.
Yep.
That part of the animal.
So they were all beef.
Oh, 100% beef.
100% beef.
And
You
as
didn't
little
put
as
anything else in them?
Nothing.
Nothing? Those Papaya King
except a little bit
Frankfurters?
fat to keep the meat moist.
Yeah.
Okay. What we did is then we put seasoning and spices in the meat.
Uh-huh.
Then, to make the Frankfurter snap, crackle, and pop,
Yep.
instead of just
Snap,
chewy.
crackle, and pop when you're cooking it, you mean?
When you're chewing it, you want it. You
Oh,
don't
when
want
you
it
bite
mushy. Yeah.
He seems to know more than you do about
He does.
Frankfurter.
I've heard this story about 6
10
times.
times.
Okay.
If anything happens,
So
it was the
Okay.
best hot dog in New York.
The first hot dog in New York. I'm moving back over here
We-
because I have to sit because my arm is getting sore. I think this will be all right. What, you want to hold it?
you got it.
You can hold it.
Do I
there.
hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it, but now you got to look at yourself.
Oh.
Oh, you can just have the
There you go. Okay, now we're
So
good.
what we did is then we took the seasoning.
See all
we'll
these
put it
people that
in.
are watching us, by the way? See, we can say, hi, there's Schwartz Defense and the Really Cocks, and look at all these people. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay.
Jerry Seinfeld or Woody Allen on, because they used to go to his store all the time. Robert Redford. They all,
Yeah.
right, Peter?
Jerry Steinfeld wanted to do business with me. He
did?
He made 3 segments in my stores.
He did?
Yep.
And so you were the star?
No, the store was, not me. No. I know. We wouldn't let him.
Okay.
So
I
anyway,
interrupted the story about the Frankfurter.
yeah, I'm getting hungry talking to you too. So
I know,
okay.
like what?
Okay, so what we did is then
It's
to
lunchtime
give
in
it
New
that
York,
crunch thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Wait, I'm going to
We-
hold it up a little higher because
we
I think we need to
imported-
see our face better.
we imported from Germany the casein,
Yeah.
the sheep casein,
Uh-huh.
because the
The
American.
sheep casing.
Yeah, well, that's what the when you have a skin around a Frankfurter
Yeah.
or any bologna or any witch and all that.
Yep.
But the American sheep casing was too chewy.
Yep.
We didn't want that, so I went and got it from Germany.
You went to
Because,
Germany
well, I
to
didn't
get
go
the
to Germany.
casing for the
company,
Frankfurters?
The company did. They're the ones who suggested that.
Yeah.
And then when the Frankfurter was all put together, we smoked it for 5 days. So it gave that hickory,
Very complicated.
but very good. That is why Papaya King Frankfurters are tasted in filet mignon, and here is the reason why. Because what we did.
Yeah. That's
And
amazing.
we sold, and then the mustard I had prepared for me was not just regular mustard, it was my own special blend to give it a little extra snap when you pour it on top of the Frankfurter.
Yep. I'm trying to get the sun from behind you because it looks like there's too much sun back here. Can you see that? Okay, so you
Yeah.
had your own mustard.
And then our sauerkraut was cooked in wine, white wine.
This is
So in
so
other words-
expensive compared to what I thought it was going to
And
be.
I,
And I thought it was just Frankfurters.
well, see,
Attention to
Yeah,
detail.
yeah.
Okay, so Peter, I'm going to move around one more time, only because I'm worried about the sun back there. Because
Okay.
it's too big on your head. So we're going to turn you. Can I turn you around a little bit, like this? Like maybe if we go over here, over here. Come over here. I make it. Look, see, this is live, and this is what happens in live because we just have to figure things out, right? Move over here. Okay.
The Bernie, the World War II.
Now, next to your friend Bernie, who is from there. Oh my God! Look at you.
oh yeah, that's better.
Okay, so you had
Okay.
so in Papaya King you had mustard
How are you?
that had wine in it,
How are you?
right?
No, the white, the sauerkraut.
The sauerkraut had white wine. The
Mustard was our own formula. It
Okay,
was
what was
so
that?
good, the mustard.
Yeah.
We used to have it, and I always remember this. We used to have it on gallon containers on a counter
Yep.
where the customer would pump the mustard. Okay. Every once in a while, customers will come up to me, could I have some of your mustard? They'll bring a little jar. I said, help yourself. I didn't charge them. One day, though, it was a rainy day, and I happened to be in the store, and a customer saying to me, hey, boss, he's stealing your mustard. What the guy did, he took a gallon of mustard, he had the raincoat, he puts it under the rain. And as he's about to walk out the door, I said, hey, stop. That was an error. He panicked. He dropped the whole gallon of mustard. Mustard is splattering all over the damn place. You can see the mess on the store, on the counter, and the people around him. I had to pay for all their dry cleaning.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
I said, you know,
After this creepy guy was stealing the mustard and it went all over?
Well, what am I going to do? It's not their fault. So from now on, I said, if someone wants to steal the damn thing, take it.
Let 'em
It
have
cost
it.
me more than a gallon.
Somebody what?
Oh, yeah, we had another customer. We had the cash
Everybody
registers
knows your
on.
stories, Peter.
We've heard it 10 times.
We had
Yeah.
the cash registers on the counter.
I'm like
some-
I'm fresh meat here because I haven't heard this yet. See, so that's the deal.
A well-dressed
I'm
gentleman
the straightest guy
picked
here,
up the register at lunchtime, but they're not heavy, these computerized registers,
Right?
and starts going down the street. And my help started chasing him. I said, forget it. We don't know if he has a gun or not. Forget it. Meanwhile, a police car happened to be right there. So the policeman said, jump in the back seat. We'll drive down the street towards York Avenue. If you see the guy, point out. So sure enough, they see the guy walking casual as can be. And my two helps says, that's him. The cops pull him over. And they start talking to him. And as they're searching, they found in his pocket crumpled bills. Like he emptied out the till of the register
Yeah.
and shoved it. And, you know, they started asking. And the next block later, we found a cash register on a corner, smashed.
Aww.
So, I mean, but see, these
New
are all
York
part of...
stories. You know, when I was
yeah.
a reporter there, we used to say there's a story on every corner.
Yeah.
86th and 3rd had a lot of stories, apparently.
It's not the same, unfortunately, anymore. When I sold the business, the whole... Remember that used to be Yorkville,
Yeah,
Germantown?
yeah.
Okay, when I was a youngster, reared in that area, I felt
Yep.
like I was in Germany.
Right.
And my mother was German, and I spoke German, so I felt I'm in Germany. Now, it's all
Yeah.
it lost that charm.
I know. I mean, I know a lot of people that live in that neighborhood, though, still.
Yorkville, yeah.
But you know, the thing is that starting a little business like that, I mean, your dad, Gus, came over as fled Greece back in the day, came here to the U.S. I mean, it's like the great American success story.
It was, and he worked hard, like everybody did in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started the business, I wasn't going to go into business. I was asked by my father to help him
Right.
when one of his right-hand man had foot problems, and I thought it'll be just a short duration,
So how long was that?
a little longer than I planned. But the one aspect that I always saw, my father, number one, started me from the bottom. I had to mop floors,
Aw, but that's
open
good for
and
you,
close.
right?
Well, at that time I didn't think so. Now, yes, it's good training. But I started all the way up. But I learned one thing very quick. It was cash business. No credit cards. No like a restaurant where you may have ordered too much and then your inventory is now shot to hell, or a customer complains, you overcooked my steak.
Yeah.
Well, you overcook a frank, big deal, throw it away. But so it was a simple business.
Right. It was a
And,
simple business, but an effective business.
It's
the
a
pennies
simple
added up,
business. What?
The pennies added up. What
You
did that
did it right.
86th and 3rd store do in its heyday?
Big volume. More than most restaurants would have ever made at a nickel and dime.
Right.
But of course, it took also a lot of work. Every time I was at the stores, no matter which store it was, I'd go behind a counter. I would go behind a grill, take a frank, snap it open, or taste every drink. Or I'd look at all my employees to make sure that their nails were clean, their uniform was clean. And never did I want to hear a worker say, "Hey you, may I help you? Who's next?" and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my feeling was, I don't care what kind of product you have. If it's not presented right, it's not going to make it.
Right.
You have to have a good product and present it right.
So anyway, so Papaya King. When you changed the name, was your dad still in the business then?
Yeah, he wasn't too happy.
I was wondering about that.
But see, I had bought the business then.
Oh.
So it was a
Did
nice...
he give you a good deal or did he charge you extra?
You know what? When you sell a business on how it lost, you cannot say, because this is my child, I'm going to give it to you for $1. There's a formula that the government sets up,
Oh.
and the accountants have to go by it. So I
Yeah.
owed my father mega bucks. But it was nice to say, hey, you listen to me now, I'm the boss.
And did he still come to work with you every day when you were
He
doing that?
came, yeah, he'd come to be occupied.
Did he
sit
drive you
behind a
crazy,
desk.
your dad?
Yes, he drove
All
me
right,
crazy.
somebody's asking
Because
a question.
He didn't...
Look, here's a question. What would you recommend to a young entrepreneur starting out in the food business?
give it second thought.
Oh, really? No, but really.
Well,
if
the
it,
food business is a very rough business, more failures in the restaurant business than any other business. The only thing you have to know and accept that you're going to be working 7 days a week, long hours. You're going to have labor problems because you don't have, I mean, let's say, you don't have the most, it's not like a waiter in a high-class restaurant where
You
they
know-
make big tips.
Peter, it sounds like we're in New York City.
Yeah, that's, well,
Here in-
brings back memories.
Here in
Garbage
Laguna
man.
Niguel.
How did you deal with the
I mean,
garbage?
seriously. Hey,
Well,
yeah, location.
Location's-
Location's
Okay,
important.
see, that's the problem in my business in New York City. Everything's high rises now.
Yeah.
Number one, if a landlord wants you, and we're considered a fast food segment, call it what you want them. Landlords want fancy restaurants in their buildings.
Right. Why? Because they think that brings better customers.
and it adds value to the building. But the thing is, you get these high rises now. I had grills in my store. They have to be all ventilated.
Right.
And you have to rent it all the way up to the roof. And each floor, if you got a building that's 30, 40,
yeah, that's a lot.
and each floor was like $10,000, I don't know what it is today, $10,000, give or take. You come broke just making the ventilation.
Yeah.
So it's very hard in New York. The only advantage that New York has really is the foot traffic.
Yeah. Well, that's great because
But-
people are. Plus, I bet people came by on a regular basis because they
They
knew
were
they could
steadies.
get a quick
They were
meal
steadies,
that
yeah.
wasn't that expensive.
Most of our customers,
Yeah.
I would say
You know-
75% were steadies.
Yeah, and at Papaya King, my dad was in the restaurant business. I grew up in it, in
then-
Minnesota, and I know what you mean, 24/7, but his was all cash too.
Well, I remember I had American Express call me up one day. And would you like to have credit cards? I told the guy, I said, do you know my business? He said, I'm a customer of yours. I said, okay, you know my business. I serve about 2,000 people a day. Can you imagine credit cards? I want to get you in, ring the register, and get you out.
Yeah.
Credit cards, get the receipt, sign the receipt. I said,
And the
no.
American Express fee
And the American,
against
yeah.
the $5 order.
Yeah, but
So,
in today's world, you know, where everybody uses the little chip and they pay quickly
Well, they
and
didn't
all
have
of
that
that.
in those days,
Yeah, but
yeah.
so today. Oh my God, my video is paused. Are we back? Can you guys see us? Somebody out there tell me. Okay. The price of a hot dog is low. How do you afford the overhead, especially in New York?
Volume. I dealt basically on volume. I had to. Because where I made my profit was in the drinks. Again, we made the drink. There was no middleman. So I made very little on the Frankfurter.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very, very seldom would a customer come in and order a Frank and not get a drink.
Yeah.
And see these little tricks in business.
Yep.
When a customer would come up to one of my workers and say, I want, let's say, papaya, I would never allow the worker to say, do you want a large or small? They would take the medium cup, pick it up, show it, you want a medium, right? And 9 out of 10 times the customer will say yes. There was so much more profit between the 8 ounce and the 16 ounce. That's where you made your money. Or these little extra
You're so
that you want on the...
tricky.
Well, it's not tricky. We're thinking for the customer. I don't want the customer, number one, to say, well, let me see now. How much is this to the... This is time.
Yeah.
I'm deciding for you. You're going to have a medium, right? Give me a medium.
Yeah. That's very tricky. So what's about the ice?
Oh, he fills the cup up with ice. So it
No,
takes
we didn't have it.
Oh, Peter.
No, we didn't put ice
Did
in
you-
our drinks.
Did you cheat
That
people
we
with
did not-
ice?
we did
Did
not-
you water down the drinks?
We did not put ice in our drinks. We put ice out of desperation, and I didn't want to do it. I added Coca-Cola. I had a pizza guy next to me, and if a family came in with kids, the kids will have the Frank, but the kids don't want papaya or mango. They want soda. They go next door to the pizza guy and get soda. And I said, wait, this is no good now. I'm losing the sale. So finally, after thinking about it and talking to myself, I ordered Coca-Cola. And yes, that you put an ice in.
Okay, I
but
got
the other
it.
drinks, no.
No.
We never put ice
Your
in.
juice was pure. Was your juice pure?
Pure is my soul, yes. Pure.
And this is the rent.
Was his soul pure, guys?
It wasn't the rent at 86th and 3rd now $40,000 a year a
I
month?
believe it's about that, yeah. Because I was
40
paying
grand a month?
I was paying like high 20s at that time.
Oh, really?
Pepsi saved money, yeah. That's another story.
Yeah, Pepsi saved you money on your cups?
Well,
So-
yeah, Pepsi. I dropped Coke. They're not the easiest people to deal with, and I went to Pepsi. And they loved taking a Coke, and I made a deal with them on the cups. That's another story.
Okay, so I have a question. So there's lots of people that are like, they're coming in here and asking you all kinds of things, and they also said they could hear us fine when that Budweiser truck went by a few minutes ago.
Yes.
How come you never opened a Papaya King here in California?
I tried in San Francisco.
Yeah? And what happened?
I couldn't.
They
well,
couldn't get the papayas from
no,
India there, or what?
No. It was my fault a little bit, and my
Yeah.
wife kept telling me. I tried to compare every city that I looked at, or every spot that I like Manhattan.
Yeah?
There is nowheres in the world like traffic like in Manhattan.
Right.
Well, especially,
That's
86.
true. Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a mob
yeah,
scene. So when I went to Powell Street or Market Street in San Francisco, I didn't see the action that I had in mind like New York. And my wife would say, forget it. That is New York. You are now elsewhere. So I had some good deals. I was just leery.
Yeah.
And I made an error. I should have
You should have tried it.
tried it.
So,
But then we opened up in Hawaii, though, instead.
And didn't some guy try in Vegas?
He wanted to.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Hawaii was good.
Hawaii was good. Okay, so Papaya King, do you consider yourself the Papaya King of Laguna Niguel, California?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Some of these comrades over here want me
Comrades.
to open up a Papaya King.
Yeah.
I would starve here.
You don't look like you're starving, Peter, and I think
There-
you
there-
might
there is no
have walked
traffic.
out with them.
Peter, tell them about your wife. Her profession.
Well, that's different. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What kind of profession is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife?
Hey, watch that.
Hey, so I have a question. So
Go ahead.
Papaya King,
Yeah.
living in Laguna Niguel, California, left his home in New York and New Jersey, left all of that behind, loving the winters here. Have you ever thought about getting into another line of business?
No.
Are you happy just hanging here at Pete's with your pals?
When I retired, I had a few odd jobs just to keep me occupied.
Uh-huh.
But it's very hard to work for somebody when you work
For
on
yourself.
your own.
I can imagine.
And I didn't like most of the people I worked for. I hate to say were idiots. I mean, I couldn't say. I said I can't work for people like this.
Idiots.
Well, I didn't mention names, but
That's
I
that's
just
another
could
business
not.
tip, right?
I'm sure your dad would have said the same thing. This is the way I ran it. Look, the people who brought me out, they were idiots.
Yeah.
I could
Hey,
never
okay.
work for them.
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
So Jerry Seinfeld did 3 episodes of the Papaya
We
King.
did 3.
And did that bring in a lot of business?
Well, let me put it this way. It didn't. It sure as hell helped. The best one of all. I didn't see it at the time they played it. I saw it later, but people called me up. You know, his scenes were shot in L.A., not in New York.
Right.
Okay. Because if you know New York City, the West Side, where you see the scenes that West Side is a lot busier than what shows on TV.
Right.
But the one scene is that Kramer, Steinfeld, and I don't know, the other group were going to the movies.
Yep.
And the theater was supposed to be across the street from my store, which there was no theater.
Right.
It's a nice scene. And Kramer is getting hungry as he's standing in line, and he's telling Steinfeld, I can't wait to get a good Frankfurt. I'm hungry
Yep.
when I get inside the theater.
Yep.
And Jerry says, well, right across the street, you got the Papaya King. And now, this is a night scene. Now, you remember my store, my neon sign was, today, of course, $100,000 at least to make it. The camera zooms in on that sign, Papaya King.
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion, I couldn't afford to pay for an ad like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
The next scene is that they're back in line, and Kramer's now eating a Frankfurter that he had ordered and came back in line. And he's telling Jerry, you are right, this is the best Frankfurter.
Wow.
So now, you know, couldn't afford to pay for something like that.
No kidding, but that's
So
great.
the next day, the next weeks, I've had so many people, there's Steinfeld, blah, 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 blah. I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. So finally, I got a hold of the producer, and, let me know when you're going to play this damn thing again. But they made a total of 3.
That's fantastic.
Episode.
And Robert De Niro likes your Frankfurters?
Woody Allen, right?
No,
Woody
Woody Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, I don't know if De Niro was ever.
And who was
Woody
it?
Allen.
Robert Redford.
Well, Robert Redford used to live. He had done an apartment on 91st, I think on 3rd. So he used to come into the store.
Yeah?
But Woody Allen,
Yeah.
he came in often, and if
He
memory
doesn't
serves,
seem like the kind of guy that likes Frankfurters. I
no,
mean,
he liked
What about Judy
coconut
Child?
drink,
Ah.
coconut champagne.
And didn't Howard Cosell come up in his
How-
limo
yeah, Howard
and have the driver
Cosell-
come in?
Would come in every Friday. The car would double park
Howard
in front of the
Cosell
store. But no, his driver would
would
come
come
out.
in.
And he used to tell me, my boss, he never said the name, my boss thinks you have the best Frankfurters and drinks in town. So finally one day I said, who is your boss? So he says, look in the back window of the car. It was tinted. And I'm looking, and I could see a profile, but not clear. But I could see the nose of, I said, that's how it goes sell, isn't it? Yeah, that's what gave it away. I said, that's how it goes. He says, yes.
Well, back in those days in that neighborhood, a lot of celebrities lived there.
Oh, we used to have Derek Jeter come in, because he used to come in. Oh, we had a lot of celebrities. Walter Cronkite was a big customer, him and his wife.
Yeah, I love
But
Walter.
see, what I liked about the New Yorker, though, they didn't get crazy when they saw a celebrity. Like here, people in L.A., you think they're used to them.
Yep, they get crazy.
Here, over in New York,
It's like, yeah, big deal, right?
yeah, some people would go up to Walter Cronkite, and I don't know what they said, but you could see it was like, nice to meet you as such, and leave him alone.
Yeah.
Same thing with Woody Allen or any of them.
Any of them, yeah.
I never
but that was
saw
a big neighborhood where everybody lived in.
Oh yeah, and you saw
You
them
know-
in the streets.
So, Papaya King, man, I could go for one of those Frankfurters right now. Is there any place to find one here in
Nope.
Southern California?
Nope. No,
Nope,
I can't
nope,
find-
nope,
can't
nope.
find
He's
them
saying
anywhere
nope,
anymore.
nope, nope, nope. We can't have one.
I get it. See, I made a big error when I signed the deal. That's what everybody tells me. I should have put in a contract, but that's the last thing you think about.
Lifetime supply.
I should have, like every month, 5 pounds of Frankfurters.
The special
But I never
formula,
thought of that, And now,
Oh, well, hindsight's the best sight, right?
so after I sold the business about a year later, I had a desire for a Frankfurter. And I went to the local supermarket and I bought ballpark Franks.
Yeah.
And I had one and I threw it away, but I had the rest in the refrigerator. My wife saw them. And she's, how can you have that in the house? I said, I just got a desire for a Frankfurter. But no, you can't.
And the new place, they got rid of the formula, right?
So I'm
Special
told.
formula.
Yeah.
I guess
for the
because
dip,
they
for the
had
hot
to
dog?
cut.
For
They
the-
had to cut that. Well, they had to
So the
cut them
Frankfurter
expensive.
isn't the same.
Well, I can't
Yeah,
vouch
they're-
for that 100%.
but their
That's what
rent is probably so expensive that
they
who can
to
have
cut
it,
corners.
right?
Yeah, they have to cut corners. Frankly, I don't know how the new owners
Frankly.
Frankly.
are doing it. Yeah,
Frankly,
doing
frankly,
it?
frankly. And did he miss anything, guys? Because I know you heard the story a million times.
Oh, that's roused. That's a whole nother story.
Well, that's another story.
Oh my God! Well, we might have to save that for another time. But we got all these people.
Tell her quickly about your wife's business. How she provides 35 million meals a year, I think. Something
Well,
like that.
she's
Oh, is this in New Jersey?
She runs a nonprofit.
she
Yeah, the nonprofit.
it's called Table to Table. She gets food for the hunger in northern Jersey. And last year she served 17 or 18 million meals.
That's absolutely amazing. How many of them are Frankfurters?
Well, I used to donate when I had the business.
Right. Right.
But,
that's fantastic. Congratulations. So that does mean you do go back to Jersey on occasion.
She goes back. She's
to
going
Jersey.
back this week again.
But you're going with her?
No.
Too
because
cold?
That's one of the reasons. I never see her. She's working 12 hours a day there,
Maybe that's
so
why you're
they'll
still
say-
married.
Oh, Jane!
Next question. But that's
We
Peter,
love Jane.
Peter,
Everyone else
But you know
we
what?
love Jane.
for the record. I do miss her when she goes.
I know.
So-
You are amazing. So look at me. Let me give you a
Okay.
little.
See?
Pete, you are wonderful.
But see, now I'm
going to
say something though. It's for guys like him
Uh-huh.
that made it possible for me to be in the business.
Oh.
Because they
Because Bernie
sacrificed
was in
their
World
life
War
and all
II.
that. Yeah.
And guess what? I'm coming back next week. Coming back, and we're going to talk to Bernie. Okay? Is that okay?
Book the whole day for
Bernie? Bernie, is that okay?
And then the following
Okay, so we have a deal.
the whole week.
You are the best. Say adios to the Papaya King of New York City.